After the last update, a lot of things have changed on Hirschfelden, to the point where it almost feels like a completely different map. I mean, almost all the locations and times we used to know are different now, which essentially means that it's time to go over all the new hotspots and all the new times to hunt your favorite species on the new Hirschfelden. That is the reason why I make this video, to show you the new locations and the new hotspots as well as the best times in every single hotspot map. That is a big goose, perhaps a label for diamond, since that estimate is really promising, and we are in one of the new best locations to hunt geese on Hirschfelden, which is on the cornfields located on the southeast. And just as before the update, Canada geese can be found in every single cornfield. I mean, you can set up in pretty much any of these fields and you're gonna find geese guaranteed. So the best option is to set up inside the cornfields, although they can also land in a few lakes. Not in many, but if you like to shoot them on the water, you also have that option. But you need to know they will be attracting the same flocks that are also present in the cornfields near the lake. So the easiest and most reliable way to hunt geese on Hirschfelden is on the cornfields, since that is exactly where all the flocks are, although some of the flocks might also want to land in some lakes. Okay, so we're gonna shoot this potential diamond level 4. I've never gotten a level 4 diamond goose, so this might be the first. .4. Man, that's a giant. The next species also inhabits a lot of new locations, and that is the European bison. They got a lot of new spots as well as a new drink time, which now is from 10 AM to 2 PM. In my opinion, a lot better than the usual 3 to 7. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was perhaps a bit too early. As I said, European bisons are now present in a bunch of new locations, in addition to the old ones, which means that you can still find them on the Teach and Now region, and also across the Central River, just as before the update. Those locations were really good, and the only ones before we had the option to hunt them on the Northwest. It's a whole new region to look for them, and it ain't too bad. There are multiple bison herds including many bulls, so it's a decent option to look for a diamond. And the best thing is that I noticed that the fact that now we have bison here didn't seem to affect the original locations. I mean, the amount of bison on the usual spots is still the same. If not higher, there are still plenty of bulls on the Teach and Now region, so apparently it wasn't much of a redistribution. It was more like an expansion of the European bison population, which probably means that the bison numbers suffered a significant increase since the original locations seemed to be untouched. The next species that also got some love is the red deer. Now they inhabit pretty much the whole map, so there is not a single location without red deer. They are absolutely everywhere, and they also have a new drink time, which is from 6 to 10 AM. It's a small change. I mean, before Revontuli it was 5 to 9, which was very decent. However, apart from that small improvement, there is another difference that I consider even bigger, because their second drink time, the one in the evening, is not a thing anymore. It was replaced for a second feed time, which means that now they feed from 1 to 9 PM. And well, now that red deer are present in pretty much every single location, it is really hard to identify any potential great spots, mainly because there can be a lot of variation on each individual map. But still, if I had to choose a great, consistent location, outside this part of the Central River guarantees a good amount of red deer. It is usually a good spot, as well as the Mullerwald area, which is another consistent location. Okay, now before I show you the red deer map, we're gonna go hunt a monster that I found while exploring the map. We're at the lake where I initially found this thing. I was just about to place some geese decoys to try the spot, and then I heard a call. I looked at my left, and I spotted that guy, a massive level 9 red deer, which is a guaranteed diamond with a track. There is also a big level 7, but we're gonna focus on the level 9, and we're gonna go for a hard shot using the 12 catch cacciatore, and with the reflex sight. Let's see. That was a hard shot. It is a 262.7. It ain't huge, but it's a decent sized diamond, product of the population reset that came with this update. Of all the species present in Hirschfelden, we cannot deny the fallow deer is probably the most iconic species after the red deer. They are a beautiful deer, and not a lot of things have changed in comparison with their state before the update. For instance, they got a light population redistribution. I mean, nothing crazy, but still noticeable. Essentially, now their population is concentrated only on the right side of the map, which makes these spots very important places to hunt them at any of their feed times. But if you wanna hunt them at their drink time, you can find them in any of these locations. Now, I know that very few people actually care about the next species. Not even I do, and I actually kinda hate them, mainly because it's nearly impossible to make a good location map for them. It's really hard, but I know that a Hirschfelden guide simply wouldn't be complete without a good hotspot map for European rabbits. Luckily for me, I figured that most of the burrow locations are still the same, so I could use an old map for reference, and then I added some new possible locations and removed a few that I simply couldn't find anymore. Just remember that these are potential burrow locations. Your map is only gonna have like 1/3 of all these burrows, so this map is only for reference and to help you find them easily. There is something massive on this area. I was looking for burrows yesterday, and I came across a monster, which ain't a rabbit. Wait, they are closer than I thought. Oh, that's him! Damn, he's gone. As you could see, it is a level 5 wild boar with a massive estimate, and while the wild boar is one of the species that didn't suffer any major change after the update, the only difference is that their drink time is now a couple hours shorter, and now they can also drink on the bottom lakes, which wasn't the case before the update. So they still cover pretty much the whole map, except the center of the Revontuli region, which only includes a couple lakes. Now, regarding the best locations, I would say the Mullerwald area is probably the most consistent and overall better location to look for wild boar. They are coming back. I had to track them for like 20 minutes, and this seems to be the perfect chance to use the 12 catch cacciatore. There he is. He's below 50, so we're gonna zero for 50, and I'ma go for a double long. He is down. We may have another diamond, product of the initial spawns. Hopefully he makes it. 144 troll. That sucks. Now the last two species are the red fox and the roe deer. They both inhabit the entire map, just as before the update, so regarding the locations everything is the same. The only novelty in relation to the spots is that now they drink in the bottom lakes, just as the wild boar. Now talking about the times, the red fox current updated drink time. Now it starts at 5 PM and finishes at 8 PM, so a couple hours earlier than before, which ain't a huge change, but now we're gonna be able to hunt them with at least some sunlight. Then as for the roe deer, the drink time is pretty much the same as before, but an hour shorter. They also got an extended feed time in the morning, from 4 to 10 AM, which is enough time to explore all these locations that I consider are really good places to find them when they are feeding.